This week on the Tech on Tap podcast, we talk Insight Vegas with Jake Thorne and Melissa Hara, and what you can expect from NetApp's flagship trade show.
Welcome to the Tech on Tap podcast with Justin Parisi, Glenn Sizemore, and Sully the Monster.
I love NetApp.
Oh, yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Tech on Tap podcast. My name is Justin Parisi. On the phone with me today, Glenn Sizemore.
How are we doing, Justin?
I am fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I had a nice full weekend of video games. I'm feeling better about my life, and I'm ready to dive back in.
Wait. You had a full weekend of video games, and now you feel better about your life.
Yeah.
It's good. Good to hear. Oh, wait, hey, it's Andrew. Andrew, did you have something to say, Andrew?
You two are chipper for a Monday, and, in this time zone.
Well, that's because we're in the time zone we've been in the whole week. Where have you been?
I've been in Spain at VMworld de Mia.
Ooh, first world problems.
It's a rough life, but somebody's got to live it.
Little jet setting across the world here, talking about your Dockers.
Indeed, and virtual machines and all kinds of other things.
Excellent. So how was that anyway, Andrew?
It was great. VMworld de Mia is always a blast. Lots of fantastic questions, lots of other great stuff going on in the booth. So I will never complain about the event itself, the venue, or certainly the city. Barcelona is a beautiful city.
That's good, because we wouldn't listen to you anyway if you complained.
Fair enough.
So you went to VMworld. Now within 2 weeks we'll be doing Insight, right?
That is correct. Slightly less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, so that's what within 2 weeks means. Thanks.
We're back to that time of year where Andrew just lives in an airplane.
He does. He's why aren't you sick yet?
I actually am. I got a cold. I got a cold over in Barcelona, so I actually went to the pharmacia and I just handed the lady the medicine that I'd been taking and said, "More, please." And she brought back some medicine that worked fantastically, but was the worst tasting thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like, imagine taking a Diet Coke and leaving it out to get warm, and then cold, and then warm, and then super flat, and then warm, and drinking that.
Welcome to the world of no FDA regulations. Super strong medicine, terrible taste.
Not sure the FDA cares about the taste.
They do. It's actually written in their charter.
Oh.
Anyway, enough about that. So NetApp Insight's coming up, and we want to talk about NetApp Insight to give you a kind of a primer, as well as some information about what you can do there and what sort of sessions you can see. And to do that, we're going to kick it off with one of the ONTAP track, or one of the track leads, the track lead for ONTAP, Mr. Jake Thorne. Hi, Jake.
Hello, Justin.
How are you doing?
I'm well, thanks. This is an honor to be on the Tech on Tap show with you guys, because I hear all these smart people on there. It's my first invitation. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we did make you take a test to come on here.
Yes.
You barely passed.
Well, I cheated, so I better pass.
Thank you. So Jake has an excellent radio voice. It sounds like you've done this sort of thing before.
I actually did a stint in a previous incarnation of employment where I did do voiceover work. Silly accents. I was a lawnmower. That's probably the best character I got.
You were a lawnmower.
I was a lawnmower on a video game. It was way back in the day. I was a lawnmower. Yes.
Okay, we're going to have you do that. You're going to have to give us a sample of the lawnmower.
Well, it was not actually the person pushing the lawnmower. I was an animated lawnmower, and I talked like this. It was a voice it was a gruff sort of lawnmower voice, talking about things in the neighborhood and things like that. Was a voice that I used for a game for Sony a long time ago.
That's good. So you went with like the rough and tough Jersey lawnmower.
It was a Jersey lawnmower. Yeah, that's what I went with.
All right. Well, Jake, you are the ONTAP track lead. So if you could give us an idea what that is and what you do as the track lead.
Sure. So a lot goes into Insight that most people are not privy to and most people don't want to know. So I'm not sure your audience wants to know. But let's peel back the curtain a little bit and
let's peel the onion. Come on.
And see what that's about. So a lot of people want to know how sessions get picked, why their session didn't get picked. And I know many people submit sessions to the process. So it's a balancing act, right? Because as Insight has continued to evolve between getting customers to attend and what is traditionally was about training our field on the technical aspects of the products and getting them ready to sell, we also want to provide customers with not only new product information, but the skills and best practices to secure good outcomes for their new NetApp systems. And now we've got these two audiences together, and how do we bridge the gap between their needs, meet their needs, and also two other balance points, which is what we as NetApp as a corporation are trying to push out there for people to learn about. Hey, what's new on the truck? What's exciting we want to share with you? And what are people in the field saying, hey, okay, the new stuff is cool, but I've been using this for X number of years, or I'm on this version of it, and I still don't know how to do X, Y, Z. So we would call those pull messages, like the field saying, hey, tell me more about how to do this or how to do that, or tell me more about these challenges that I run into. And the corporate saying, we only have so many hours and we want to tell them about only the new stuff. So each session, we're always trying to find that balance between enabling people with the stuff they have and also getting them ready for the new stuff that's coming. So that's kind of a balance point. So when people submit their sessions, they might be thinking in terms of a poll thing, hey, I see this problem in the field a lot, or I see this issue that I'm challenged with. Here's my session on that. And we might have duplicates, or we might have people saying, oh no, let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this next new thing. So, okay, enough on the balance. So the hours are distributed out. So each track gets their number of hours, and those hours are basically how you attendees vote with your feet. That's a big part of it. So you might see 1 year where ONTAP sessions draw a lot of people because we had a bunch of cool stuff come out that year, and it draws a lot of people because they want to know about it. And then the following year, we might get allocated more session time or more hours. So when you're sitting there in the audience going, how come they're not giving more time to or more sessions to a particular thing? It has to do with not just the importance of it to NetApp's business, right? And again, this is that push-pull thing. We want to be responsive to the attendees that are going. What do they feel they need to know about? And how did they vote with their feet last year? So that's part of it. Is that too long an answer? Because that was pretty long-winded there. I'm just starting to warm up here.
No, that's good. That's good. So I know that's not going to help people right now, but in the future, when people are submitting sessions, what helps people get selected? I mean, what sort of things would they want to consider when they're submitting a session to an Insight?
Well, being able to be targeted with the content that you want to submit, because sometimes it's either too specific, where it's kind of an edge case, and it might be detailed and interesting, but it only applies to a small audience that tends not to draw well or get the attention that it might need. And then also, where do you want to gear it towards? So they have these different levels, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3. We're looking for a good disbursement of that type of information. So you can pretty much figure that the high level stuff, somebody corporate, if we feel like we need to have a high level stuff, we'll find somebody to deliver that. If you've got unique domain SME expertise that you can bring to the fore around whatever that is not an edge case that you see in the field every day, and you're very well versed in it, and you bring that expertise, those, for example, I'll give you an example. We could get a lot of people to talk about Metro Cluster. We could get a lot of different people to bring that from a corporate perspective. But we found that some of the guys from the field in Germany, we chose last year, they have some domain expertise and they're using it on the cutting edge, and they've got a particular perspective that made them a better candidate to deliver these sessions than even some people we had in-house. So that's just one example of some choices we made last year. But so I don't know if that answers it directly, but finding the right area where you bring expertise that is going to kind of trump some of the perspective that's going to be coming from the corporate side. And don't forget, we also send out perspective sessions for voting to get input from partners and customers. So we're making sure we're giving attendees what they're asking for, what they're required to get those good outcomes.
Okay, that makes sense. So what sort of highlighted sessions would you pick out in terms of, people might have an interest in? Like, what are some of the hot topics that people have really picked up? So for hot topics, well, our team covers a pretty broad spectrum with the ONTAP Software and Systems Product Group, or OSSG. It's lengthy because we cover so many different tracks. So there's ONTAP, SAN, data protection, FAS AFF platforms, and of course, software-defined systems. So in the ONTAP track, we focus on software functionality and enhancements for ONTAP and ONTAP systems. And other tracks are going to cover the application-based solutions that use ONTAP software and systems.
This show is a great opportunity to get caught up on the latest features and functionality, as I just mentioned. But we're also going to cover 9.2 and 9.3 elements. So you'll have a chance to look through Fabric Pool, automated tiering of data to low-cost object storage to get more out of your AFF system, flex group enhancements, and adaptive QoS, which automatically provides consistent performance for an application's changing data size, leveraging the throughput floors component of QoS. And there's also enhancements to security and encryption, and simplicity and improvements around balance placement and AppDM. And also, I should give a shout out to the ONTAP Select folks, because we've got KVM support and VMware vSAN support.
We basically can find all this stuff on the schedule builder, right, in the event catalog and that sort of thing. So if I wanted to build my own schedule, I could do that. If I wanted to, I could search for names of presenters. So if I wanted to see whatever Andrew was presenting, I could type in Andrew Sullivan and get his. How many sessions do you have? 30?
I have 2 in the U.S. and 3 in Germany.
Wait. Why do you have 3 in Germany?
I'm inheriting one from one of our CSEs who is not able to make it.
Oh, okay. So Andrew has a lot of sessions. So we do have sessions across the board here. We have ONTAP, we have virtualization, we have data protection. So check it out in the session catalog and the event catalog on the NetApp Insight
and
site.
the app, too.
And the app, yeah.
Yep.
Actually, you can download the app now on the mobile devices.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do that, I don't think it hogs up too much memory, does it?
No, it's not too bad.
It's not a beast like previous years.
If you haven't seen the new one's pretty nice. Hopefully it won't have as many updates as in previous years. That was one of the things. Last year, I think every 20 minutes you were getting an update for the app.
Is there a cool chat feature where I could chat with other attendees like previous years?
Yes, it's called face-to-face interaction.
No, I don't want to do that.
So Jake, I know we've only got a couple of minutes left. So 2 questions for you. One, is there something that you're particularly interested in, excited about Insight this year? And then 2, any recommendations, any thoughts for people who are either first-time attendees and separately reoccurring attendees?
Yeah. It's difficult to also, we're talking about that tuning. I'll take your second part of your question first and then get back to the first one. Because we've been looking at the trending numbers for Insight, the majority of people have been either a partner or a customer or attending Insight 3 years or less. That's the majority of people who come to Insight, which I thought was fascinating. I thought these are all the old dogs who've been around a long time and they're just, they go every year and that's what they know. It's actually not the case. So for some of the more seasoned veterans out there who might say, well, why are they covering this or why are they doing that? Some of that has to do with understanding the demographics that are changing coming to the show and having to kind of hit the reset for some of the new folks that are coming. So for some of the new folks that are coming, we're trying to do a better job of helping people understand how all these piece parts fit together. Whether they go to Insight Central and they want to understand how all the different products within the platform fit together. But I would look at some of the more generalized sessions, like one that Justin will be presenting on ONTAP. I would start with one of those sessions and say, okay, here's what's new in the release. Here's how these piece parts fit together, and I can jump in anywhere and go deeper on the other sessions because he'll be talking about QoS and he'll be talking about security components and he'll be talking about other aspects of the release, Fabric Pool, for example. And we'll have 2 sessions on Fabric Pool, and we'll have another session on Flex Group, and we'll have other sessions on QoS. So it's a good branch, kind of start here and follow through from there. So what am I excited about? Well, I'm excited about the way, just as new technology comes on, when we're talking about NVMe, we're talking about new technologies, I want to hear from the people there. I want to hear how people are using our stuff from 9.2. I want to hear from people in the trenches who are having conversations with customers about what's working for them. It's one thing to have a tech conference that is mostly marketing driven, and then one where I get the sense that Insight is different because it is a tech show, and these are the people who are, and I mean a tech show in the sense that these are the been there, done that people more than just the casual attendee at some of the other shows. I don't want to sound too biased, but I do appreciate that you can have deeper conversations. You can actually get as much from some of the other attendees as you can from some of the sessions. And that's not to disparage the sessions at all, but I think there's a huge pool of talented people swapping ideas, workflows, knowledge back and forth, not just the networking piece, but there's a lot of cool interactivity that goes on there.
Yeah, so I feel like in response to the first part of your question there, right, that whole data-driven, decision-making, analytics type of thing, it turns out that we might be onto something with that.
Yeah.
Who knew that, data analytics was going to be a thing, especially when it came to, I'm being sarcastic, of course. So with regard to your second statement, right, you said that you're interested in hearing from, talking to people. So what's the best way for them to find you when you're at Insight? Will you have a booth? Will you be?
Yeah. So OSSG will have three properties, three kiosks, if you will. One for software defined, one for FAS and AFF platforms, where we'll have a few of them on podium so people can, it's kind of like a petting zoo for gear, and you can come over and check them out. And then there'll also be an ONTAP 9 booth as well. So those are the three main areas that we'll be covering. There's a general theme around modernizing your data center that'll be covered by the marketing folks primarily, but some of our SMEs for data protection will be covering data protection topics like SnapLock and SnapMirror and even MetroCluster from the modernized section. But we will have quite a bit of coverage from OSSG folks there.
So, Jake, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, I think there's one kind of best practice I would think about for this particular show. They do make all the sessions available to everybody after the show. And so there are certain sessions that you're going to benefit from being in the room because you want to hear the questions that are asked. You want to catch the guy when he leaves the room and ask him the follow-up question that he wasn't going to ask or wasn't going to answer when he was presenting or whatever that may be. And you want to prioritize those sessions. So you definitely want to be in the room for a handful of sessions that are in your sweet spot for what you do every day. But also, Insight provides a great opportunity to go dabble in stuff that you know nothing about. Go check out a level 2 of something you've never seen and just broaden your horizons and find out what you don't know. It not only can be entertaining, it's a great networking opportunity, and then you've got all those sessions that you maybe put on your B list or your C list of sessions that you wanted to check out. They're all available for download. You can check them all out after the event, and they're quite valuable in that regard as well. One note of caution with the sessions as you check them out later, they're not really designed to be standalone content. They really are designed to be in the context of Insight. So if you're a field person or if you're a customer, realize that information is not going to be updated after the event. It's a one-time thing. Please do go look for the latest TR on that topic, or if you're a salesperson, the SE presentation or whatever it is, go get in tune with the thing that's going to have a life cycle to it and constant refreshes. But for that point in time, you've got a really broad section, a broad selection of content you can surf from, even if it goes beyond the days that you can the hours you can fit in your session time.
It's great advice. I couldn't agree more, and that applies to most other conferences as well.
So, Jake, if anyone wanted to find you at Insight, where are you going to be?
Well, I thought I didn't have to disclose that. Do I have to disclose that?
Yeah, we've actually got location trackers on you, and there's a chip in your head. So if you leave Insight Central, your head explodes.
That's good knowledge. Thank you.
Just to let you know. I want to tell you ahead of time. No surprises. So where are you going to be in Insight Central?
I will spend most of my time at the ONTAP booth, but I will also be bopping around various sessions that we're trying to track across the number of tracks we had mentioned. But I think better than I, as a contact, are going to be the presenters and the folks who are leading these sessions, the SMEs for these areas. But I can certainly be your Julie McCoy, your cruise director, and help people find the right SMEs for their topics.
Well, I mean, you'll be there for voiceover talent.
I could be.
Yeah.
If anyone needs a lawnmower voiceover, I'm the guy for that sort of thing.
What was the lawnmower's name?
What was his name? Most of the time it was just referred to as lawnmower. We'll ask the lawnmower, that kind of thing. It was a
interesting,
a silly game. It was good.
Sounds like it. All right. Well,
yes.
Jake, thanks so much for joining us and giving us some insight onto Insight.
Yes. My pleasure. Anytime. Thanks very much, guys.
Okay, so you can find Jake at Insight Central, but the problem is Andrew, do you know where Insight Central is? I don't know where this is.
It's at Insight.
It's in Vegas somewhere, Mandalay Bay, right? Am I getting warmer?
So far as I know.
You know what? This is not working, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring the expert in. So Melissa Hara is here today to tell us where you can find Insight Central and what you can find there. So hi, Melissa.
Hi, guys.
So Melissa,
thanks for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for joining us. So Melissa, if you could tell the listeners what you do here at NetApp and what your role is with Insight.
Sure. So my name is Melissa Hara, and I'm one of the global event program managers at NetApp. And the area that I am managing this year at Insight is Insight Central. So as you said, Insight is back at Mandalay Bay in the South Convention Center, but we did move Insight Central to the second level, which is in Oceanside and Shoreline.
So, Melissa, you mentioned that the expo is upstairs. Why is that? And could you tell us a little bit more about how we can find everything?
So we moved the expo upstairs so that it's in close proximity to the breakout sessions and the general session room. The Insight Central is our expo, and that is where you can spend time with our sponsors, network with colleagues, connect with technology experts, and see our exciting solutions in action. Insight Central is in Oceanside and Shoreline. So when you do enter Oceanside, you will find our briefing center, our hands-on lab. And what's different this year with the hands-on lab is that walk-ins are welcome. So you don't have to pre-register for that. And then we will also have our Intel Recharge Lounge, and a professional photographer will be ready to take new headshots of our attendees.
Oh, okay.
In
cool.
Shoreline, we have our NetApp Pavilion with a theater. We have dedicated expo hours this year, so you will be able to get your technical sessions in the NetApp Pavilion. And then we'll have all of our partner booths and the Code On Bar, which was formerly known as the Developer Cafe. In our Inform and Delight Theater, we do have a couple special Inform and Indulges. So on Tuesday from 5 to 6, we will have a bourbon and bacon tasting, and that's sponsored by Google. And then on Wednesday from 5 to 6, we'll have tequila and fresh guacamole tasting, and that's sponsored by CDW.
Okay, cool. So that sounds like we got a lot of good things going on. What else do we have?
Yeah. And then right when you walk in, though, you will see our social media hub, and this is where we will be recording some videos. We have a fun photo booth, and then NetApp United Foosball Tournament, which is on Wednesday from noon to 2. You can get more information and sign up at the social media hub because spots are limited. We do have a couple other fun activities that aren't located in Insight Central that I would like to touch on. So on level 2 in the foyer, we will have our gear store, and we also have Rise Against Hunger coming in on Monday and Tuesday. So I encourage everybody to volunteer, 30 minutes, an hour, and we'll be packing lunches to help fight hunger.
Okay, and where is that? Where is the Rise Against Hunger thing again?
Oh, it's going to be on level 2 in the foyer. You won't be able to miss it. It's like when you go up the escalator.
I just wanted you to say foyer again. That's all.
Oh, you are so funny.
Is that where the karaoke car was last year?
Exactly.
Are we doing the karaoke car again?
No, that was just for last year, but that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. Anything else fun going on besides that? Like, I know we had the Code On Bar and everything, but what else do we have that's kind of like what we did last year?
Well, our appreciation party, which is sponsored by Cisco, Fujitsu, and Intel, that will be on Wednesday at the Joint. So we're taking it off campus, and it will be at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Shuttles depart from the Mandalay Bay probably start around 7:15. And then, did you guys hear who our headliner band's going to be this year?
I think I did, but you can tell us.
Okay, it's going to be Weezer, so it should be a lot of fun.
All right, a little retro action going on there.
Welcome to the 1990s.
Anyway,
it's almost as if someone on the podcast was out there when we were picking bands and specifically talked about Weezer endlessly.
So, yeah, actually that did happen. So Jim Coleman was, it's weird. I was over there speaking with Richard Bliss, who's one of our social media experts. And Jim Coleman sits right across the hall from Richard. And I could faintly hear Buddy Holly playing. And he's like, Richard's like, oh, what are you listening to? And Jim's like, oh, I'm listening to this band called Weezer. I'm like, oh, that's Buddy Holly. And he was like, well, yeah, we're trying to decide which band we're going to pick. I'm like,
to be clear, the song Buddy Holly, not the artist.
Yeah, because there would be no way we get Buddy Holly to play at Insight unless we had some sort of resurrection machine.
Time machine.
Anyway, to snapshot, blah, blah, blah.
So I told Jim, Weezer would be a great idea. It evokes a lot of retro feelings, the age range of people that attend these events, the tech guys, the nerdiness. It just makes sense. I don't know if I had any impact. Melissa, did I have any impact?
Oh, absolutely. I think that conversation is what sealed the deal with Weezer.
Look at that.
So for everybody who loves and or hates Weezer, blame Justin.
Blame me or thank me. Your choice.
That's at NFS Dudes Abides.
That's right. Hit me up. I can
Let him
take
know
it.
what you think of our band selection.
I think it's a great band selection, personally. Melissa, what do you think?
Oh, I love Weezer. Yeah, I'm
See?
looking forward to it.
Everybody loves
right
Weezer
there.
except for Glenn and Andrew.
Whoa! Don't put me on the hate train.
Don't put that evil on me.
Look, you guys are poo-pooing it.
No,
you're trying to make
just throwing you under the bus.
Oh, you're trying to throw me under the bus, the Weezer bus. So Melissa, anything else that's going on with Insight that we haven't covered yet?
Melissa, will there be a welcome reception this year?
There will be. The welcome reception's on Monday at 5 p.m., and that is when Insight Central opens.
Awesome. So it's a great opportunity to come out and get a pre-dinner cocktail and snack then.
That's right.
All right. Sounds like Insight's going to be fun-packed and Weezerful. So, Melissa, you don't like that? You don't like
full of wheeze?
Full of Weezer. Anyway, Melissa, if anyone want to get in touch with you to ask you any questions about Insight or just to say hi, how would they do that?
Sure. Feel free to reach out via Twitter. My handle is at Melissa_NTAP. And also, I encourage you to download the mobile app because there will be more details on Insight and Insight Central.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much, Melissa, for joining us and telling us all about the fun that is going to be Insight Central.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that music tells me it's time to go. If you'd like to get in touch with us, send us an email to podcast@netapp.com or send us a tweet at NetApp. As always, if you'd like to subscribe, find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, or via techontappodcast.com. If you like the show today, leave us a review. On behalf of the entire Tech on Tap podcast team, I'd like to thank Melissa Hara and Jake Thorne for joining us today to talk about NetApp Insight. See you in Vegas.
Yeah, here we're going to have some new Gopher podcast stickers.
We are. They're going to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Ashley McNamara was on our show a while back. She's formerly a Pivotal, now Microsoft developer advocate, and she drew a little Gopher for us. I commissioned it, and we created a T-shirt and some podcast stickers. So if you stop by the social media hub, you might be able to procure one of those.
Yeah. So little backstory, or little interesting story there. When you tweeted out those new stickers, I happened to be standing next to Ashley.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Nice. What'd she say?
She liked them.
Good.
So she says they look fantastic.
Excellent. Best part was